when, by the power of time, all worlds have dissolved into the 5 primal elements.
Our journey now continues with the 5th verse, which is Gajendra's 4th sacred prayer. In the previous prayer, Gajendra contemplated the eternal witness who remains unchanged through creation and dissolution. Now, his vision expands even further. He asks us to contemplate what remains when even time itself has completed its work. This is one of the most majestic visions in the entire Gajendra Moksha Stotram. Sanskrit. Hear the original revelation. Let us first receive the sacred verse exactly as it has been preserved by the ancient rishis. Do not hurry to understand every word. Simply allow the sacred sound to enter the heart. Listen with quiet attention. Kālena pañcatvam iteṣu, kṛtsnaśo lokeṣu, pāleṣu ca sarva-hetuṣu. Tamas āsīd gahanaṁ gabhīraṁ, tasya pāre'bhivirājate vibhuḥ. Feel the spaciousness of the verse. Its rhythm moves from the changing universe toward the eternal. For countless generations, these sacred syllables have carried the wisdom of Vedanta from teacher to disciple. Even before the intellect understands, the heart begins to recognize their truth. Now, let us gently learn to pronounce this sacred verse. The transliteration allows every sincere seeker to chant these timeless words, whether or not they can read Devanagari. 2. Transliteration. Learn to chant it. Please follow one line at a time. Kālena pañcatvam iteṣu, kṛtsnaśo. The verse begins with a profound reminder. Everything that exists within time must eventually return. Lokeṣu, pāleṣu ca, sarva-hetuṣu. Not only worlds, but even their celestial guardians and every chain of causation are embraced by time. Nothing created stands forever. Tamas gahanaṁ gabhīraṁ. When the great cycle of manifestation comes to its close, all names and forms fall silent. The scriptures describe a profound stillness, a vast, unfathomable darkness, not as something fearful, but as the quiet absence of all manifestation. Tasya pāre'bhivirājate vibhuḥ. Yet beyond even that cosmic silence, beyond time, beyond creation, beyond dissolution, the all-pervading Lord continues to shine. He is never diminished by creation. He is never affected by dissolution. He simply is. Notice how extraordinary Gajendra's prayer has become. Standing between life and death, he is not thinking about survival. His mind has risen to contemplate the reality that remains when even the universe has disappeared. This is the language of the Upanishads, spoken through the heart of a devotee. Contemplatively absorb this verse. Let us remember one simple truth. Time changes everything that is born. Worlds appear, worlds disappear. Civilizations rise and fall. Even stars are not eternal. But beyond all that changes, there shines the infinite. The one who was present before creation, who remains through creation, and who shines even after creation has dissolved. Let that vision settle gently into the heart before we continue to the next stage of our contemplation. Having listened to the sacred sounds of the verse, let us now gently unfold its meaning. Every Sanskrit word has been chosen with extraordinary precision. As we explore these words, we begin to see how Gajendra is no longer describing only the universe, but the reality that transcends the universe itself. 3. Word by word meaning. The verse begins with one powerful word, Kālena, Kālena, by time. Time governs everything that is born, worlds, stars, bodies, civilizations. Everything within creation moves under the rhythm of time. Then comes pañcatvam, pañcatvam, the return of all created things into the 5 elements. This is not a tragic ending. It is the natural completion of every cycle of manifestation. Next we hear lokeṣu, pāleṣu, sarva-hetuṣu, worlds, their guardians, and every chain of causation. Nothing within creation stands outside the law of change. Then the verse becomes profoundly contemplative. Tamas, darkness. Gahanaṁ, profound. Gabhīraṁ, unfathomable. This darkness is not the darkness of fear. It is the silence that remains when all names and forms have returned to their source. Then comes the turning point of the verse. Pāre, beyond. Beyond time. Beyond darkness. Beyond dissolution. There, the scripture says, āsīd vibhuḥ, the all-pervading Lord shines forth. The universe may disappear. The light never does. Gentle transition. When these sacred words are brought together, they become one beautiful prayer. 4. Complete meaning. Listen now, not as individual words, but as one flowing vision. When time dissolves all worlds, their rulers, and every chain of causation back into the 5 elements, only immeasurable darkness remains. Yet, beyond even that cosmic darkness, shines the all-pervading, eternal Lord. Notice how the prayer moves from change to permanence, from time to eternity, from creation to the source that never changes. Reflection. This verse invites us to shift our perspective. Normally we measure life by events, by beginnings, by endings, by success, by loss. But Gajendra looks beyond every event. He asks us to contemplate that which remains even when the universe itself has completed its journey. Closing contemplation. Perhaps the deepest lesson of this verse is wonderfully simple. Everything that belongs to time changes. Everything that belongs to Brahman remains. So whenever life changes, remember, you are invited to seek not merely what changes, but that which silently shines beyond every change. May that vision settle gently within the heart before we continue our contemplation. Who remains through creation, and who shines even after creation has dissolved. Let that vision settle gently into the heart before we continue to the next stage of our contemplation. As we continue our contemplation, we now arrive at one of the grandest visions found in all of Vedanta. This verse introduces a profound expression, a single Sanskrit word that contains an entire cosmology. Mahā-Pralaya. Mahā-Pralaya, the great dissolution. When we first hear these words, the imagination may think of catastrophe or destruction. But the sages invite us to see something entirely different. Mahā-Pralaya is not the destruction of reality. It is the peaceful completion of one cosmic cycle before another begins. The Great Return. Let us quietly reflect upon what the verse describes. Worlds disappear. The great guardians of those worlds also disappear. The five elements return to their subtle origin. Even the countless chains of causation come to rest. Everything that belongs to time completes its journey. The eternal. Yet something does not disappear. Brahman alone remains, not because it survives the dissolution, but because it was never part of the changing universe to begin with. The infinite does not come and go, it simply is. The hidden jewel. The hidden jewel of this verse is beautifully simple. Everything that appears must eventually return. Nothing is truly lost. Nothing is truly destroyed. All manifestation returns peacefully to its source, just as a wave returns to the ocean without ever being separate from the ocean. Let us now pause and view this entire verse as one continuous vision, how each step naturally leads to the next, forming one complete Vedantic picture. 1. Supreme reality. Everything begins not with the universe, but with the supreme reality, the infinite, the eternal, the self-existent one. Before time, before space, before creation, that alone is. 2. Time governs creation. Then, within creation, time begins its silent work. Time measures every movement, every birth, every growth, every transformation, every ending. Yet notice carefully, time governs creation. It does not govern Brahman. 3. Worlds arise. Under the rhythm of time, countless worlds appear. Galaxies, stars, planets, living beings, all emerge within the grand order of creation. 4. Worlds and their guardians exist. Along with creation come its divine laws and cosmic order. The scriptures speak of celestial guardians not merely as individual beings, but as symbols of the intelligence that sustains the universe. Everything functions according to the divine order. 5. Mahā-Pralaya. Then, when the appointed cycle is complete, Mahā-Pralaya arrives. The worlds return. The guardians return. The elements return. The countless chains of causation return to silence. Not in fear, but peacefully, as waves return to the ocean from which they arose. 6. beyond cosmic darkness. After all manifestation has become still, the scriptures speak of profound cosmic darkness. Yet even that silence is not the final reality. Beyond the last veil of unmanifest existence, there shines the infinite. 7. The all-pervading Lord alone shines. Beyond time, beyond creation, beyond dissolution, beyond darkness, the all-pervading Lord alone shines. He has never been born. He never changes. He never comes or goes. He simply is. As we continue our contemplation, we now discover something truly remarkable. The vision expressed in Gajendra's prayer does not stand alone. The same truth appears again and again throughout the sacred literature of India. Different sages, different centuries, different scriptures, yet one unchanging reality. Aitareya Upanishad. Let us begin with the Aitareya Upanishad. Atman evedamek evagre āsīd. Atmana evedam eka evagre āsīd. Before creation, the Self alone existed. What a beautiful affirmation. Before the first universe appeared, before the first star shone, before time itself began its movement, the Self already was. And when creation returns to silence, that same Self alone remains. B. Mundaka Upanishad. Next, the Mundaka Upanishad offers a magnificent image. Yatha sudiptat pavakad visfulinga. Yatha sudiptat pavakad visfulinga. As sparks arise from a blazing fire, countless sparks appear for a moment. Each spark seems to have its own existence, yet every spark belongs to the fire, emerges from the fire, and finally returns to the fire. So too, the universe arises from Brahman, exists within Brahman, and returns to Brahman. See Bhagavad Gita. Finally, the Bhagavad Gita expresses the same truth with extraordinary simplicity. Avyaktadini bhutani vyakta madhyani paharat. Avyaktadini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata. All beings are unmanifest in the beginning, manifest for a while, and unmanifest again. Manifestation is only one brief chapter within an eternal reality. The eternal never comes into existence, nor does it cease to exist. Reflection. Notice what has happened. 3 great scriptures, 3 different voices, yet all point toward one reality. Creation appears, creation returns, but the eternal remains unchanged. This is not merely philosophy, it is the shared heartbeat of Vedanta. We have now journeyed through this remarkable verse, from creation to dissolution, from time to the timeless. Let us gather its wisdom into a few simple contemplations that we can carry into daily life. Time governs the universe. Our first reminder is beautifully simple. Time governs the universe. Everything within creation moves according to time. Birth, growth, change, completion. But Brahman does not belong to time. The eternal is never measured by moments or centuries or cosmic ages. All worlds are temporary. The second reflection is one of humility. Even the countless worlds spoken of in the scriptures are temporary. Nothing that appears within creation remains forever. Yet this is not a cause for sorrow. It is the natural rhythm of existence. Every created thing dissolves. Everything that has a beginning will one day return to its source. Mountains, oceans, stars, civilizations, even galaxies, all participate in the great cosmic rhythm of emergence and return. Nothing is truly lost. Everything returns to the infinite. Beyond all change shines the eternal. Beyond every appearance, beyond every disappearance, beyond every cycle of time, the eternal continues to shine, unborn, undying, unchanging, ever present. That reality is never diminished by creation, nor increased by dissolution. It simply is. Seek the reality that time cannot touch. Perhaps this is the deepest invitation of the verse. Rather than seeking only what changes, learn to seek that which never changes. When the mind rests in the eternal, time loses its power to disturb the heart. Notice how gently Gajendra's prayer has transformed. It began amid struggle. It now rests in truth. He no longer asks to preserve the changing. He contemplates the changeless. Now, as we conclude our meditation on this sacred verse, let us carry one final remembrance into our daily lives. Everything changes in time. Our bodies, our circumstances, our successes, our losses, the passing of every season. Yet beyond all these changes, there shines the supreme reality, a light that time can never diminish, a presence that neither creation nor dissolution can ever touch. Whenever life changes, remember, the eternal has not. Everything changes in time. The supreme shines beyond time, forever. Kālena pañcatvam iteṣu, kṛtsnaśo lokeṣu, pāleṣu sarva-hetuṣu. Tamas āsīd gahanaṁ gabhīraṁ, tasya pāre'bhivirājate vibhuḥ. Kālena pañcatvam iteṣu, kṛtsnaśo, lokeṣu, pāleṣu sarva-hetuṣu. Tamas āsīd gahanaṁ gabhīraṁ, tasya pāre'bhivirājate vibhuḥ.